Hello and welcome to Segments with Mark and Amber. Segments is a comedy podcast where in each episode, Amber and I choose a topic and talk about it in a variety of segments. My name is Mark, and with me as always is the girl who loves the bad boys. It's Amber.
Haha, it's me.
Yes.
This is episode 41, and we are talking about the American actor and filmmaker Thomas Jeffrey Hanks.
Amber, you skipped something. He was born July 9th, 1956.
You think I should say that in the middle of the sentence? I was going to say that at the end.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring that up because I know somebody else was born July 9th.
Ooh.
Do you know who it is?
Your brother.
Yes, that's correct.
Wow, I didn't
My
know they
eldest.
shared a birthday.
Yep.
Not 56.
No, not 56. No, John was born a little bit later than that. A little bit, something we call 1974.
Something we call that.
Yeah. So, Amber, what is the format of our great show tonight?
The format of today's show, we have 3 segments. We're going to have segment 1, Tom Hanks, the nicest guy in Hollywood. Does anyone not like him? Segment 2, a Tom Hanks quiz, which I've heard is pretty tough. And segment 3, Tom Hanks movie talk. Kind of like a top 5, but different too.
Yeah, exactly. So, Amber, the quiz was a challenge for me. I had a lot of ideas. I was trying to think of words that rhymed with Tom Hanks.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And which there are a lot of.
Yeah.
But nothing that really lent itself to a great quiz.
I don't know how just finding rhyming words would then lend it to a quiz.
So what I wanted to do was something like Hanks or Spanx. Is this something that Tom Hanks said or something from a Spanx advertisement? But it was
that would have been great.
It would have been very obvious. Very little overlap.
Hanks doesn't say that much about hugging your curves because he's not a bad boy.
Exactly. So we've gotten something a little bit more tame, a little bit more straightforward, but I still think we're going to have a lot of fun, and I think the audience is going to really enjoy playing along.
Cool. Well, before we go into our feedback, we can let you know that if you wanted to leave feedback for us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SegmentsCast, or you can email us segmentscast@gmail.com.
That is correct. And Amber, did we have any corrections or apologies?
I don't believe we did, no.
Okay, what did we talk? Oh, we talked about not X-Men.
Avengers.
We
just got it all right.
So we locked it
Our
in.
Kurt hasn't listened yet.
Our Kurt. Correct. So, but we did get a little bit of feedback, and the first thing is it looks like Adam maybe took a picture out of some storybook that he had at home or something, maybe on his nightstand. But
I thought he drew it.
He might have drawn it. I'm not sure. Adam let us know. And he said, Mark, seems like you would like Beauty and the Beast. Surprised you haven't seen it. And along with that was a photo of Beauty and the Beast in Star Wars format.
What is the candle?
C-3PO.
How do you tell?
It's golden. This is a black. You're looking at right now is a black and white picture, but it is C-3PO, and you can kind of see on the lower half of the candle the lower abdomen section, and then the wires and stuff there. So pretty obvious, actually. But you got the Beast as Chewbacca and Belle as Princess Leia.
And then Chip, the broken cup. Chip is R2-D2.
If this was a reality, I would definitely watch Beauty and the Beast in this fashion.
Yeah.
But in the current fashion, you know what?
Bobby Joe was also surprised that you've never seen it.
Yeah, is The Rock in it? Is The Rock in it?
No.
Does he play anybody?
No.
He could play the Beast. He would be the best.
He would
Beast.
be a pretty
Imagine
great
that. So Belle walks into the castle, and it's The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson, but he's kind of got a lot of hair on him. He's kind of all hairy, and you're kind of not quite sure, but there's still something ruggedly handsome about him.
Yeah, I think she'd fall in love with him pretty fast.
But eventually,
even faster than
he does
the Beast.
shave or lose his hair, whatever happens, and then it's like, oh, it's legitimately The Rock.
Oh, that's
Life
all
is
he has
good.
to do is shave.
Life is good.
There's no magic involved.
Well, I mean, The Rock is magic enough.
True.
That's what I always say.
True. All right, we had a comment from friend of the show, Laura, my mom. I enjoyed the way you taught me about Avengers' faces and their personality types. I did know a couple of the quiz answers that Amber missed.
In your face, Amber.
She did a lot of research before Endgame. She did a lot of rewatches, so apparently it paid off. She knew many more than I didn't, so I knew more than she didn't.
Wow, that's very strange. She knew many more than I didn't.
No. Okay. So I started talking in the middle of my mom's comment.
So when your mom taught third grade,
yeah,
I imagine that she would like grade kids' sentences.
Yes.
And she would read that sentence and go,
Yeah, a little red pen, little
Red pen.
arrows.
Yeah, mix that around.
Something's not right there.
So.
But she said we both did a good job.
And it's been a while since she's taught.
Yeah, she might just wave over this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, sorry. No more comments on grading. Ellen also sent us this picture, and for a while, I was like, did she mean to send this? Was this on purpose? And we probably shouldn't do visual feedback too often.
Yeah, you guys have to check out our Facebook page to see the visual feedback.
But it's this classic picture of the original Star Trek.
Yeah, we got
the original
Kirk,
series.
we got
Bones.
Dr. McCoy. Oh, Bones.
Oh, is that Bones?
I don't know.
No, that's, yeah.
Is that the same person?
I don't know.
Spock. I know Spock.
And then that other guy. And then you got, and it looks like, must be some part of the show where an alien has captured them. They've all got their hands up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in the side, somebody has superimposed Richard Simmons with his hands up, with his great hair and his great smile and his short shorts.
Stripy shorts.
And it's just, the more I look at it, the more I enjoy it. And I'm just like, I might just make this like my screensaver or something.
Oh, my word.
It's so funny
Wow.
to me.
So I noticed, because I'm just Facebook friends with Ellen anyway, she posted it. And then friend of the show, Brian, said, you need to post that over on Segments. So I was trying to figure out exactly what the correlation was. I mean, obviously, we're Star Trek fans. We're not really Richard Simmons fans. And then I was trying to think, what are they saying in this meme? Is he... I don't understand it.
Well, I think it's just funny.
Because he has his hands up? Okay.
I think it's just, I don't think it means anything. I think it's
like,
just
is he
funny.
the ensign? Uh-oh.
I opened a... I opened a tab,
A portal to
obviously,
another dimension.
and it played something. So fear not. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So yeah, Amber,
I was just trying to think if Richard Simmons had like a famous thing. He said deal a meal. Is there like a deal a meal thing? Sweating to the oldies. It's old generation Star Trek. Sweating to the oldies.
No, I don't. I think no.
I wanted there to be more.
I
to
don't
it.
think. Maybe there's more. Maybe it's over my head. I'm not quite sure, but it
Okay.
just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
I'm glad
Everybody's
you
hands
like
up, and get your hands up.
Okay.
So reminds me of worship at our church
Sure.
because everybody's hands up.
Yep. Kirk is more like the cool.
He's
worship
kind of
guy,
cool,
just-
half up.
Just barely.
Yeah,
half
kind of
up,
half up. Yeah.
Deep V. He could be a worship leader.
And Leonard Nimoy, he's just kind of the guy, the single hand up.
Oh, yeah. Well, coming up next is what's making us happy right now. Mark, what's making you happy right now?
All right, Amber, what's making me happy is this story that certainly you have stumbled on in your Twittering or in your Instagramming or in your Facebooking. Somewhere you've run across this story where Morehouse graduates' student loans are paid off by a billionaire.
What is Morehouse? Is a school?
Morehouse is a university. It's a college. So let me just read a little bit of this in case anybody's listening and doesn't know. So 396 young men began the day as students in caps and gowns, ready to graduate from Morehouse College.
So it's just a men's school.
Apparently. And these men were full of hope, but burdened in some cases with the debt that financed their education.
Sure.
I think we can feel that.
We're right there.
We're right there.
Mm-hmm.
We're right in the midst. Then their commencement speaker went off script with an extraordinary pledge. The newly minted alumni of the historically black college in Atlanta would go forth into the world student debt-free. Did I read that correctly? The newly minted alumni of the historically black college in Atlanta would go forth into the world student debt-free. So this guy, Robert F. Smith, the billionaire investor, he founded Vista Equity Partners, so some sort of a financial firm, it sounds like. He has become the richest black man in America. He told the crowd that he and his family would pay off the entire graduating class's student debt, freeing them to begin the next chapter.
How amazing is that? So did you say he was a Morehouse graduate himself?
It doesn't say, or at least it doesn't say in the first half of the article.
Sure.
So it's like a real life Scott's Tots situation.
That's exactly what I was going to say. What's his last name?
His name is Robert F. Smith.
Smith's Tots.
Smith's Tots. So I hope it'd be very terrible if he comes back and is like, "Hey guys, this did not work out. But here's some computer batteries."
Laptop battery. Oh, we get a laptop? No, you get a battery for a laptop.
So it's just this great, and so obviously at this time there's a lot of buzz about student loan debt and the how it's crippling our economy and
Yes.
yada, yada, yada. And we've got Elizabeth Warren, who is saying if she gets elected as president, she would, has this plan to pay off everybody's student loans.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And makes me want to vote for her. So
Right? That would change our
not
lives.
sure where she stands on other things, but
Well,
anyway, we don't want to get too political here.
so how
but,
exciting. How much money did you say it was altogether?
it was $40 million.
Wow. For
Yeah.
300 people.
396 people. And so
Wow.
imagine you're just sitting,
I mean-
you're already excited. You're
Wow.
sitting there, you're graduating, I'm going to move on to the next season of life. And then all of a sudden this commencement speaker is like, hey, great job, go, tell the truth or be cool or whatever commencement speakers say. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I'm paying off all of your student loans.
So I just divided 40 million by 396 and it comes out to $100,000.
Wow.
I mean, if Emma's school, if you go to school
not
for
surprised.
4 years, if it's a private school, it probably is. If it's just men and it's named Morehouse and I've never heard of it, it's probably $50,000 a semester.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
more.
that's crazy. So good for you guys. Enjoy entering into life debt-free. And I just think that's super cool. So hopefully
Yeah, what a great story.
whoever's my commencement speaker next year, 1 year from now,
Ooh.
also, maybe they could call this guy.
Maybe they put a little spark in his head.
It does make me think that every time he gets invited to speak somewhere, there's this ulterior
Yeah.
motive. Like,
Yeah, now it's going to be a little
are you
tricky.
sure you're done? Are you have anything else?
Everybody's just sitting on the edge of their seat, and he's like, dream big, go forth, and good night.
That'd be great. So anyway, pretty cool story, making me happy because somebody else had their student debt paid off.
Yeah, that's amazing. Imagine the other schools that didn't choose him to be their speaker.
Right. Yeah.
I thought if he went to Morehouse, it makes sense.
He
But if
might
he's
have.
just like out there being like, I want to pay off somebody's student loans, I'm going to see if I can be a speaker at one of these schools. And they were like, nope, we got Mindy Kaling. We're all good.
What's Mindy Kaling ever done for anybody? That's what I want to know.
She has done some commencement speeches.
Yeah. Not paid anything off for me. Amber, what's making you happy right now?
What's making me happy right now is yet another reboot. Everything old becomes new again in 2000 teens, and the next thing that's becoming new again is Beverly Hills 90210. They are rebooting it with the original cast.
Not the whole original
And it comes
cast.
out in August. No, poor Luke Perry. He was fully on board, but he has passed away.
Yeah.
So August 7th, I believe it is, it debuts. There's already been a commercial, a silly commercial of everybody kind of wicked. I feel like there's a silly song with it. I don't know. But
So we got Ian Ziering, who's, obviously he's got a lot going on right
Yeah,
now
he's
with the
doing
Sharknado
really well.
situation. Then you've
and
got...
he looks the best, honestly, out of everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the pretty girl?
Well, she's gotten a lot of plastic surgery. She looks okay, but she's almost unrecognizable. And remember the last season of Arrested Development? Or not the last season, but there was a big
fourth
break,
season?
and then it came back,
The fourth
and
season? The fourth
the
season
girl.
came out? Oh,
Lindsay had a lot, and it just was like distracting to watch
Yeah.
her on the screen because she
Yeah.
looks so different. You get used to it eventually, but
yeah.
it's hard to see her in the previews because she looks so different. So Brenda's back. Brenda had left the show early on because she's very difficult to work with. There was tons and tons of seasons after Brenda left.
Oh, really? What
She's
about
back.
her brother? Was it Brandon?
Yeah, Brenda
Is he-
and Brandon are
is he-
twins.
Is he back?
Oh yeah.
Is he? What was he doing? How'd they wrangle him back in?
I don't think he's done much. He's done a little bit of
Ouch.
directing. I don't think he's done much. I don't think
probably
Shannon
like-
Doherty.
I wouldn't be
battled
surprised if he's
cancer.
out there like flipping houses or something.
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
true.
of feels like what
hoping
he's
that somebody will pick up a reality show about it.
maybe. Hey, Chip Gaines, look at me.
Yeah.
Flipping houses. It's me,
Yeah.
Brandon.
See?
Yeah.
Brian Austin Green. That's David. He married somebody. I think he married that girl, the hot girl from Transformers.
Oh, Megan Fox.
Yeah. I don't know if they're still married, but that's his claim to fame.
Interesting.
And then Andrea, Gabrielle Carteras. She was
No.
the old. She was just way older than all the other people playing teenagers. She was probably in her mid to late 20s while she was playing a high schooler.
Who are like the two guys that weren't like part of the in crowd, but they're like the rascally rascals, and like it kind of looked like they were in a boy band or something.
I think that was probably David and. I mean, he had a friend that, like
Dave.
Scott, accidentally killed himself with a gun in the first season.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Are they recasting Scott?
No, they can't.
Are they recasting the other guy, Luke Perry?
No, I think they'll probably just talk
Probably
about how he died.
digitally put him in
Yeah.
kind of a Princess Leia situation.
Could do that.
Be pretty sweet.
So.
Or just take old footage from...
Oh, no.
Sorry. Is it too soon to make jokes about
No,
so,
it's not.
So
Anyway, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. Only 6 episodes, and my 90210 podcast that's been painstakingly going through all 10 seasons of the original show is super excited. They're going to be taking a break and covering the new episodes.
Oh, well, that's very exciting, Amber. We're going to be watching with bated breath.
Yeah, we will.
Segment 1. Tom Hanks, the nicest guy in Hollywood. Who wouldn't like him? So here's the thing. Amber and I decided we've got a great episode coming up in a couple weeks, which we'll talk about at the end of this episode.
Yes,
but
stay tuned.
We needed something for right now, in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember why we decided to talk about Tom Hanks. Amber.
Well, I think we were talking about the water movies, and we talked about Splash, and I was discussing why I don't like him. And then we started mentioning other movies that we did like of his, and then I was like, why don't I like him? Like, we should explore more of him. And we actually suggested within that episode, maybe we should just do a Tom Hanks episode.
And that makes sense to me because I love Tom Hanks.
It's shocking how many fantastic movies he's done.
Incredible movies. It's shocking how many amazing movies he's done that we have not seen.
True, but we've seen a lot.
We've seen a number of them, but not many of the more recent movies.
Oh, okay.
But we'll talk about the movies specifically in a bit, Amber. What I wanted to do in this segment, okay, so this is a new, probably not recurring segment.
Okay.
But it's a segment where we ask the question, is there something wrong with Amber?
Okay. It's not going to be recurring.
And I guess we could do it recurring. It's just not all going to be about Tom Hanks. It could be about some other of your just some of your stuff.
I think this is the only potential thing that could be wrong
Yeah,
with me.
if we stumbled upon anything else, we could look at it. But Amber is not a big fan of the Tom. Is what I was going to call him, but I'm not sure that's a good nickname
the
for him.
Tom.
He is known as the nicest man in Hollywood.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like when I see that he's going to be in a movie, I'm not excited about it.
So the first thing that I stumbled on, Amber, is this great article from BuzzFeed. So what I did was I Googled, does anybody not like Tom Hanks?
Good, yes.
Okay. And so this is the first one that popped up.
Okay.
Are you ready? 16 times Tom Hanks proved he is an absolute gem of a human.
Oh.
So number 1, and I thought this was interesting, he posed as Santa with Wiz Khalifa as an elf for a Christmas card on Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's very cool. And it's got kind of a nice photo here. He's, anyway, he's cool. But here, this is the kind of stuff. This is the Tom that in all of America loves.
Okay.
He crashed a couple's wedding shoot and offered to perform the ceremony. And you can find photos of him in their wedding photos posing with him.
Did they let him?
I don't know.
'Cause that'd be kind of weird. Like, here's my pastor I've had all my life, but man, it's Tom
It
Hanks.
doesn't sound like. It sounds like maybe he was just kind of being fun. He was
Okay.
like, hey, let him, And this was in this season of time on Twitter when he ended all of his tweets with Hanks.
Yeah,
H-A-N-X.
like he signed it.
Yeah, like thanks.
Like he thought
or
he had to
Hanks.
say he had to sign his name.
He's super great. And so you got this great picture of Elizabeth and Ryan. They're getting married, and you got Tom Hanks. Makes me think if I was getting married at that time, I would do all my planning. We're going to be outside. We're going to be in the summer. It's going to be in New York. We're just going to wait for Tom. And if he doesn't come, we're going to postpone.
Reschedule.
We'll redo it. We'll do it again next week. Because, our wedding was amazing.
It was
It was
amazing.
beautiful.
Do you think it would overshadow it? Like, it's no longer about getting married. It's about, wow, we saw Tom Hanks and he talked to us.
Well, yeah.
Remember when we got married? Do you remember Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
That was great.
You know-
remember
you know-
my dress?
you know
No,
how-
but
the wedding picture that we have, or we used to have on the side
Yeah.
table. Imagine that, except Tom Hanks is also in it.
okay. It would be great.
Yeah. So yeah, he'd be like part of us. All right. So here's another great thing that Tom Hanks did.
All
I'm
right.
not going to go through all 16. That would be too much.
I don't know.
He not only bought a bunch of Girl Scout cookies, but also tried to help the troop sell more boxes to passerbys. So he's maybe he's going into Sam's Club or what have you, and there's these Girl Scouts. He buys all their Girl Scout cookies, and then he stands there with them to continue selling to other people.
Huh. That's very nice. Is he just bored?
No, he's Tom Hanks.
Okay.
He's not ever bored. He's just
He's
ready.
not ever
He's
bored.
never bored. He's just always ready to
Okay.
do something awesome for real people.
Good.
Like you and me.
Uh-huh.
Or Girl Scouts. Okay, you don't seem convinced yet. Here's another one.
Okay.
So this one's kind of visual. So this
All right.
is going to be harder. He had this reaction to seeing Olivia Wilde's engagement ring. I don't know who Olivia Wilde is.
Oh, you've seen her.
So she was at Madison Square Gardens, and she was watching a Knicks game, and he did this thing where he was really, looked really impressed with her wedding ring.
Like on the Jumbo.
Like on the Jumbotron. Okay, so that one's not that great. But, I mean,
I
for
could've done
Olivia, it would have been great.
I mean,
It's Tom Hanks.
She's already a pretty
It's
big
not,
deal.
It's not like, oh, here's this random person that thinks
True.
my wedding ring is great. This is Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
America's favorite man. Okay, here's the fifth thing that makes him amazing. He won an Emmy, and he taped it to the top of his car.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's like, look at me. I'm Tom Hanks, and I've got an Emmy.
What did he win it for?
Well, BuzzFeed doesn't seem
Okay,
to tell
that's
us
all right.
that,
Mhm.
so I apologize. Okay, maybe we'll just do one or two more.
Okay.
Then I've got a lot more.
That really helped. I
information.
like that part of him.
When a stranger pretended to be wasted for a photo shoot, and he just went along with it. So in these photos, he's met this guy in this restaurant, and this guy was like, "Oh, I want to get my picture taken with Tom Hanks, but I'm going to pretend like I'm super wasted."
What an idiot.
And then Tom Hanks also pretended like he was relatively wasted.
Wow.
And that's the kind of thing that Tom's
What
going
a
to do.
weird choice to
He's
make.
going to be like, "Hey, you know what? I don't make the rules. This is your thing. If this is what you want your picture on the end table of Tom Hanks to be."
I
I'm
could
in.
imagine that a lot of celebrities would be like, give me a break. I don't even want to take a picture with you. Much less do I want to deal with your tomfoolery. Tomfoolery? What?
I know. I like that, Amber. And then there was a season of time where his Twitter basically became a lost and found for gloves and shoes abandoned in New York City.
Aw.
So,
Okay.
and so he just is a
Those
great,
are pretty good. They're
he's
pretty
a great
good.
guy. Let's see if there's anything. He always is ready to hype up his wife on social media. Somebody named Rita Wilson.
Yeah.
Familiar with her?
I'm familiar.
He's super into her, and I think that's great.
How long have they been married?
Nobody knows.
A long, long time, I think.
Nobody is quite sure. He dated Amy Poehler in the 80s, though.
Really?
We'll talk about that
What?
in a minute.
She had to be a lot younger than him.
Yeah, and there's this great picture of him taking a picture of her getting her picture taken on the red carpet. Super
Aw.
cute. I just think they're super cute.
Yeah.
And it's like, good for you guys. And he collects typewriters. Is that a
Really?
cool thing?
No.
Okay, well,
They're
that's
so
not going to...
bulky and big.
Well, he's just super into things that are... Well, that's not true. Okay, here we go. He straight up starred in a Carly Rae Jepsen music video.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
I don't know who Carly Rae Jepsen is, but I've heard that name, and I think she's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And now she's got Tom Hanks.
Okay.
President Obama awarded him the Medal of Freedom.
Huh.
And so that's pretty cool. Obama's cool, Tom Hanks is cool, freedom is cool. So it's the trifecta.
You know
There
what
you
I
go.
like about him is he did that thing on James Corden where he did a little bit of all of his movies and he
Yes.
changed clothes really fast.
Exactly.
That was pretty funny.
That was brilliant.
He was willing to just dive back into all those roles, all the cliches, all the stuff he hears over and over again. Wilson.
Well, is that? Yeah.
He just dove back in with gusto.
He dove right in. Because he's so fun.
Yeah.
James Corden's pretty cool, too. And so I'm going, man, does anybody not like Tom Hanks?
Right, that's the question.
That's the question. And so then I come to, a classic website, Ranker.
Yeah.
Ranker.com.
Yeah.
Ends up, there are some people that don't like Tom Hanks, Amber.
Oh boy.
But as I was reading this article, I think it's kind of a stretch.
Okay.
Everything that they have here is kind of a stretch. The number one person that doesn't like Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Tim Allen.
What?
They starred together, as you
Oh,
know,
no, in Toy Story.
In Toy Story.
You got a friend in me. He's not a friend?
And so this is in a sit-down for the Tonight Show, Tim Allen, the voice of Buzz, explained why he envies his fellow animated co-star. And I don't think envy and disdain is different. But
Oh, for sure.
So
I envy a lot of friends.
exactly. Tim Allen said, "My whole life is this. Come on, Woody. Watch out, Woody. Woody, come on, Woody." Tom Hanks goes on and on. Lot of Academy Awards. He said, so he's jealous.
He is jealous.
And so it's like, Tim Allen.
I can understand that.
good news. Tim Allen has agreed to. He signed on for Toy Story 4.
Shoo.
So
Despite his differences.
What's interesting about Ranker, Amber, and this doesn't have anything to do with our friend Tom Hanks.
Okay.
But it also says, where else is Tim Allen ranked?
Oh, okay.
He's the 85th funniest stand-up comedian of all time.
Really?
That seems highly unlikely.
That seems highly unlikely, yes.
He's the 95th funniest person of all time.
No.
That's ridiculous.
How do you rank that?
He's the 41st celebrity who should run for president.
Oh, interesting.
Would you vote? I think maybe conservatives are pro Tim
I do
Allen.
feel like he's conservative, yep.
And the final one, he's the 50th star who you wish would guest star on The Muppet Show.
Really?
So somebody figured that out. He's the 50th.
Wow.
So,
Alrighty then.
Know who else hates him along with you?
Hates Tom Hanks?
Hates Tom Hanks.
Who?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
They got a picture of her giving him kind of a weird look at something they were at together.
And I don't hate him, by the way.
Okay.
I just don't find him.
Okay.
I don't know I don't know what the deal is because I love his movies. I like watching the movie. I'm just not excited when I hear that he's going to be in a movie.
Is it because you don't want the movie to be too good?
That's probably what it is.
That's probably what it is.
I think what just my immediate reaction is, oh, that'll be boring.
Well, but there is one of your absolute favorite movies stars Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that's true. And that one, not boring.
No, not boring at all.
Not by any stretch.
So anyway, so you're in cahoots with Howard Stern.
He doesn't like him?
Does not like him. Henry Winkler.
Really?
They got into a bit of a tiff on Turner and Hooch.
Oh my gosh.
Amy Poehler.
She doesn't like him
Amy
anymore.
Poehler, they lived together for 6 months.
Really?
And so she kind of made a joke about him at some awards show that she was hosting. And then he said that she left without saying anything, took a couple of his records, and walked away because she didn't like his dog after
Whoa.
6 months. Yeah, and so they don't really get along.
Interesting.
Donald Trump doesn't like him.
Huh.
Surprise. Ricky Gervais.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Ricky Gervais doesn't like him. Can't tell here. Looks like they kind of got in. So Ricky Gervais was hosting the Golden Globes in 2011.
Yeah.
And his jokes took a nasty turn. It looks like he made fun of Tom Hanks, and then Tom Hanks and Tim Allen came out and made fun of Ricky Gervais, and then it's all gone downhill from there.
Probably they were the funniest part of that, whatever he was hosting, Golden Globes.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the last one. The last one I'll talk about.
Okay.
He apparently has a son by the name of Chet Hanks.
Not Colin.
Not Colin.
I know Colin. Chet.
Chet, his DJ name, or his rapper name is Hayes. So Chet Hayes Hanks.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently he's real rough.
Do they have a picture of him? Does he look like? Because Colin looks just like.
Yeah, here's a picture of him, Amber. He's in a picture. He's holding a couple of pistols.
Yikes! He's kind of trying to be Eminem.
So
he's
kind of like breaking out of that. I'm not you. Oh, my dad's a nice guy. I'm the opposite of that.
Yeah, he's really trying hard to be the opposite.
I'm the worst.
And everybody's downloading those new Chet Hayes tracks. So I think he's doing well.
Exactly. So Amber, that's the kind of company that people that don't like.
Well, I mean, they know him personally.
Has he ever slighted you?
Not at all.
What about when he did Splash?
Nope.
So it all comes down to this idea, and it's exactly like I feel like I'm interviewing you. I feel like you're kind of on trial here.
That's
in
all
a
right.
sense.
I can take it.
You're all right. But it's not bad. I mean, everybody can have their opinion. I mean, you don't have to love Tom Hanks. You just have to recognize that he's great.
Yeah, I was trying to put my finger on why I would have any problem with him. It's hard to tell.
Well, I've got it.
Okay.
I figured it out.
Okay.
For you. And because it took some research, but in page 2 of my Google search of why do people not like Tom Hanks, and I don't know how this connects to Tom Hanks, so it's surprising that it came up.
Okay.
But this is from Zeus.com.
Oh, it sounds official.
Zeus.com, the date mix.
Okay.
Why do girls like bad boys?
You don't know how this turns into Tom Hanks?
Well, I know
Okay.
why I like it. Why do girls like bad boys?
Okay.
Secrets from the science of attraction. Okay? And so here's the thing. We as guys are always questioning, especially nice guys like me, we're questioning, why do girls like the bad boys? Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Right? Because I'm going to be nice, safe, I'm going to be secure, and I'm going to give you a great life. Not like some Luke Perry on his motorcycle and his slick back hair. He's smoking a cigarette. He's got the lung cancer, and you don't know where he's laying down at night. If you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
So some psychiatrists got together. Let's do some research. Why is it? 3 reasons, Amber.
Okay.
Number 1, they are more attractive. So bad boys really are ridiculously good looking. This is a quote. Research has found that people with so-called dark personality traits, such as narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism, otherwise known as the dark triad of personality traits, are more physically attractive than others. So
weird.
There you go. And so there's something about the dark triad that just makes people more attractive. And somehow they also seem to have good clothes and good hair. But I think it's because of that narcissism. They're all about themselves.
Do you think there's like a survival instinct more prevalent, and so like our base biological nature would be attracted to somebody who's more likely to survive?
Amber, that is
I don't know.
very intuitive. So this dark triad, they're more likable and had more confident body language, more attractive facial expressions. And this works well in his favor because according to research, when we find someone super hot, see, this is a very scholarly article.
When it says find someone super hot.
When we find someone super hot, we tend to assume they're also smart, kind, and confident.
Crazy.
That's
why.
why
I know there's a lot of people who aren't. I watch The Bachelorette.
So that is really interesting. So you're looking at this hot guy. He's on his motorcycle. He's got a leather jacket, probably some smokes. We don't know what else is going on. He's probably just threw maybe a beer bottle against a wall.
Maybe.
So, I mean, is that when you picture a super hot guy, is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he's probably done it recently.
I'm going to go take a beer bottle and throw it against our final siding and see what happens. Oh,
he sure didn't recycle it, I'll tell you that.
And so you're looking at this guy and you're just like, he's smart, he's kind, he's the whole package. But it's not true.
Interesting.
All right. Well, Amber, here's another thing.
Okay.
Not only are bad boys more attractive, they're more fun. From motorcycles to daredevil trips, bad boys know how to have a good time. A 2016 study, again, a
scientific
professional
study,
scientific study conducted at the hospital clinic of Barcelona.
Well.
And it showed that a number of women, I would have liked a little more detail there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of detail.
Not a lot of detail, but the hospital clinic of Barcelona, they, in the midst of all their other important work, they showed that a number of women were attracted to bad boy types because they were considered captivating. Quote, while they are selfish, rule-breaking, imprudent, and rebellious, they're also brave, temerarious? Don't know. It might be maybe a Barcelona word. Barcelonian? Spanish?
I don't know.
We don't know. Sorry. Independent. They are also self-reliant. They live frantic, galvanizing lives.
Whoa.
That's from lead researcher Fernando Gutierrez. And this behavior could function as a signal that the subject has such good genetic quality and condition as to live dangerously without suffering harm.
Wow.
They can do what they want because they are impervious to danger.
Until they die in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, and then they're no longer the bad boy.
Yeah.
They're the dead boy.
That's right.
So, there you go. What do you think about that one?
Well, I think that there's some accuracy there. And I think that you can like a type of bad boy without liking the extreme. Like, I would never want to be in a relationship with somebody who just treated me terrible and didn't respect any kind of authority or didn't whatever. But I have news for you that you have enough bad boy in you to be very attractive.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody who's just gonna like be coddling or be like wishy-washy or like too soft.
Like the times I make you carry things because I think it's going to make you better.
It didn't hurt.
Or the time that I decided to root for the Tigers instead of the Cubs.
Yeah, see, look at that rebelliousness there. Yep. It's not like, it's a weird balance that girls are weird. Girls are
weird. It's a challenge.
Because obviously I want you to take care of me and care about me, but I also wouldn't want you to be just like a little puppy following me around. I want you to be your own guy, and you are.
Well, there you go.
So you've got it.
I've got it. Okay, there's one more.
No beer bottles broken because we don't want to pop their tires of our car,
Exactly.
but other stuff you've got.
Yeah. If I broke a beer bottle, I would lay a tarp out first.
Thank you. Clean it up carefully.
Okay, here's the third one, and I think this is the one that really kind of seals it.
Okay.
So I don't know where this is gonna go.
Okay.
So if you're listening with your kids, maybe just fast forward here a little bit.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. It's hormonal.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say that?
No.
If you find yourself ogling the bad boy at the bar, you can blame your ovaries for that.
Oh, okay.
According to research,
a number of people were researched.
The Journal of Personality and Social Psychology back in 2012. That actually sounds legit.
It does.
Women in the week of ovulation, quote, delude themselves into thinking that the sexy bad boys will become devoted partners and better dads, said study researcher Christina Durant of the University of Texas at San Antonio. When looking at the sexy cad through ovulation goggles, Mr. Wrong looked exactly like Mr. Right.
Ovulation goggles. Wow.
That means that during a certain time of the month, women can't help but be attracted to the bad boy.
But that's got to have like a basis in biology. I feel like there's got to be something that, like, why? I mean, I guess if it's a better
I think
looking, I think people.
I think it's kind of the warrior thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like that person can protect me,
Yeah.
right? That person can, go get some game.
Yep. He got game.
He got game. So kind of I think the hunter warrior thing.
Yep, I think so too.
And the women are looking for somebody to be, their prince.
I think
or
so.
Or their hero or something.
Yeah.
There you go. So bottom line, bad boys are great for a fling, and it's only natural to be attracted to them. But if you're looking for a long-term relationship, go for the nice guy. And I would say, from a pastoral perspective, don't just no flings.
No flings.
No flings.
You don't even need that.
Don't need a fling. Just go with a nice guy.
Just recognize the small, friendly bad boy traits.
The friendly
that
bad
your
boy. The
man
what
has.
baseball team does he root for? That kind of a situation. Exactly. What kind of a car does he drive? Is it a super sweet Chevy Sonic LTZ?
Yeah.
Turbo.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's what I got. So, see, just to say, Amber gets pretty excited when I pull up in the driveway in that thing. So, anyway, Amber, there you go. That's what I've got. Tom Hanks, the nicest guy in the Hollywood. Did that help you kind of understand?
He's the nicest guy, but there's a part of me, especially one week of the month, when I'm really not going to be interested.
Yes.
I need to watch somebody else's movies during that week. Maybe Brad Pitt. I don't know who's
Yeah. Or just watch. Maybe I'll just make you carry things.
Oh, boy. All right.
Segment 2, a Tom Hanks quiz.
I love my quizzes.
I know you do, Amber, and I really wanted a good one. A good one. Oh, and I'm pulling out my Tom Hanks quiz, and I just noticed this great Reddit article that I didn't mention in our last part, but maybe we'll bring that up later.
Maybe it will come up.
If it comes up later. We don't have time. We've spent like a half hour talking. So, yeah, I bet people are pretty excited. So those of you who are still with us, we're going to play a Tom Hanks quote game.
Oh, good.
Okay? And so I'm going to give you a quote from a movie, and you I'm going to give you 2 points if you can get it without, without the options, and I'm going to
Sweet.
give you 1 point if you get the answer after I give you the multiple choice.
Okay.
Okay. And I got a pen right here because I'm ready. And if you get a certain amount of points, Amber, you're going to win a sticker for somebody.
Okay.
But we don't know who.
We're not sure who.
We don't know who. So if Amber wins, say, hey, I wish that sticker was for me, and that could be for you.
Ooh,
So, hey,
interesting.
I just came up with that on the spot. So, okay, number 1. Okay, but I get to be on top.
Just out of the blue, that's all you get.
That's all you get.
Well, I know what it is because we just watched this,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just giving listeners a chance.
Okay, that's nice of you.
It is the movie Big,
That
and
is
he's not saying anything inappropriate. He is referring to the bunk beds.
nice. Amber, you are correct. Tom Hanks got his first Oscar nomination for this role.
Really?
As Josh Baskins in the adorable
An
movie
Oscar? Wow.
Big. Yeah. Yep.
I feel like people don't get Oscars for comedies.
Number 2. Yeah, that's true.
I do think I cried at the end. Did I cry at the end?
I don't remember. I
maybe
cry
not.
a lot. Just kidding. Here's the quote.
Okay.
Didn't you ever see Fatal Attraction?
Hmm.
Didn't you ever see Fatal Attraction?
So he's talking to somebody. He's frantic because he's worried about a lady going crazy, it seems like.
Hmm.
Then that's what happens in Fatal Attraction. I know he's worried about his neighbors and burbs, but I don't know. How do you be worried? Oh boy. I'm not sure. It could maybe it's You've Got Mail. I'm gonna guess You've Got Mail because he doesn't know her and he thinks she could be crazy.
Amber, you did not get that one correct. It was
Ah.
very close. It was actually Sleepless in Seattle,
Yeah, I
which
think
I
those are-
believe is a sequel to.
I don't think that, but
to,
they're very similar
You've Got
movies.
Mail. Yeah, I think it's just the same movie.
Okay.
All right. Well, Amber, you still got 2 points, which is good because you're going for points. Number 3. Are you aware of your drooling problem?
Oh, I know.
Are you aware of your drooling problem?
I think he's not talking to Meg Ryan in that one. I don't think he's talking to a person at all. I think he's talking to Hooch. I think it's Turner and Hooch.
that is correct,
That's
Amber.
a real gross
That's a
drooling dog.
Because if it wasn't Splash, because you can't. How would you know if a mermaid is drooling or not? It's all water. Number 4. Are the flowers blooming in Houston? Are the flowers blooming in Houston?
Houston, we have a problem. Apollo 13.
Amber, you are doing so good.
Boom, boom.
Except for that one that you missed. Let me give you a little thing. Tom Hanks, especially fond of Apollo 13 because he got to play the role of his boyhood hero, Jim Lovell.
Who even knows him?
As a
I guess he was
spaceman.
born in the 50s.
He was born in the 50s. And
Space race.
Space race was a real big deal.
Yeah.
So he is in that quote. He's talking to Ken Mattingly. Ken had to be taken off the flight crew because the doctors thought he was exposed to measles. When Jim, who's Tom Hanks, asks if the flowers are blooming in Texas, Ken replies, "That's a negative. I don't have the measles." So here's this. He could have gone up into space,
Aw.
and he wasn't able to.
Because of probably some snot-nosed kid.
Probably some snot-nosed kids, if I had to guess. So, number 5, Amber. Moving buddy. If you don't have one, get one. Moving buddy. If you don't have one, get one.
Feels like he's talking to college kids or something about moving in and out of their dorms, but I don't know what role he would have that would have that. Yeah, I really don't know.
Big. Toy Story 2, Toy Story,
Oh.
or The Money Pit.
Yeah, is it Toy Story or Toy Story 2?
That's the trick, isn't it?
Moving buddy. Do they move? I think it is Toy Story 2.
That was my guess as well. We were both incorrect. It's actually Toy Story.
Ah.
Toy Story, Amber, this is interesting. The first ever full-length computer animated film.
Really?
Tom Hanks does the voice of Woody, the cowboy doll. In this scene, Woody is talking to all his other toy friends. The boy that owns all the toys is going to be moving soon, so Woody wants to make sure no one gets left behind.
I can definitely see that scene.
So you've got 6
I think a lot of
points.
listeners got that one.
Yes. I'm sure they did. Toy Story classic. First full length. And that's all I have to say about that. And that's all I have to say about that.
Life is like a box of chocolates, and that's all I have to say about that. I think it's Forrest Gump.
That is, Amber, that is correct. That's another 2 points for you. Let's see. Tom did receive an Oscar for his starring role as Forrest Gump.
That was a pretty amazing movie.
He says that quote a few times in the movie when he's finished telling a story.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for that little tidbit. Number 7. Are you crying?
Oh, you don't even have to finish it.
There's nothing to finish. That is the question. Are you crying?
He's probably talking to the Racing Peaches. Is that their names? I don't know. It was A League of Their Own.
That is correct.
That was probably the worst he ever looked. I wonder if he gained weight specifically for that role. I feel like he had to have.
I think baseball players generally are heavier.
Yeah. So he was bigger. He was all scruffy. He was hungover or drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. We haven't seen that movie in a while.
No.
It was a classic.
That's classic.
Number 8. He's dating Mother Goose. He's dating Mother Goose.
Who is dating? Somebody's dating Mother Goose. I feel like the movies are all about who himself is dating. So why would he be talking about somebody else dating? It's probably another. There's a little Bo Peep in Toy Story, but I don't think there's Mother Goose. It could be a Toy Story one, though. All right, what are my choices?
Turner and Hooch, Big, Dragnet, Bachelor Party.
Wow.
Turner and Hooch, Big, Dragnet, Bachelor Party.
Well, I haven't seen Dragnet or Bachelor Party, but I'm going to go with Dragnet.
Amber, you are correct.
Yay.
He says this to his partner, Joe Friday, who is taking his mother out for dinner. His character, Pep, thought Joe was going on a hot date, but it was just Granny Monday's birthday.
Oh.
So I haven't seen. That was actually a pretty funny movie.
I don't think I ever saw it.
That's pretty cool.
I already said that.
Number 9, The Stairs Are Out. The Stairs Are Out.
Feels like it has something to do with stairs.
The quote. It has everything to do with stairs.
Okay, so I got a couple guesses. It could be the one where he's in the airport, because there's like rolling staircases for airplanes, like terminal. Or it could be the money pit. They fall through things. The stairs are out. They can't use the stairs. I'm going to say the money pit.
Amber, you are correct.
Yay.
Another 2 points for you. Amazing. We got one more.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see. Look, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You need 13 points to win.
Okay.
So,
so close.
Yeah, that's incredible. Number 10. Oh, now look out for the tractor. Michael, watch out for the tractor. Watch out for the tractor.
Oh, man. Michael. He's telling somebody named Michael to look out for a tractor. I could see that a Toy Story toy would need to look out for a tractor, but I don't remember anybody named Michael. He does that Polar Express. I've never seen that. But would there be that much drama in Polar Express? Look out for a tractor.
That much drama.
It feels like it's the most boring
So-
movie ever. I've never seen it. I'm going to need some tips.
Apollo 13. Catch Me If You Can. Turner and Hooch. Road to Perdition.
Oh, man. Road to Perdition is one of those where I'm like, yep, this is why I don't like Tom Hanks. I've never seen it. It just sounds
I think
terrible.
he plays a bad boy in that one.
Oh.
I think he plays a gangster or
It
something.
looks boring. Watch out for the tractor. It says it multiple, and then
You want me to read it again?
catch me if you
Okay,
can.
now look out for the tractor. Michael, watch out for the tractor. Watch out for the tractor.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Road to Perdition.
Amber, you are correct.
good.
Oh, my goodness. In this scene, Michael Sullivan Sr. is teaching Michael Jr. how to drive a car. Michael Jr. comes very close to hitting a tractor, but swerves at the last second.
Aha.
So, yeah. Amber, let me just do some calculations.
That was only a one-pointer because I got mine.
That's right, but you got 13
Phew.
points, and so
That
that
was so
means
close.
you've won the game.
So whoever doesn't have a sticker and wishes they had
And
one.
wishes they did have a sticker. Now is the time. Segment 3. Hey, let's talk about some of those Tom Hanks movies. All right, Amber, in this segment, we're going to talk about some of those Tom Hanks movies. It's kind of like where we do the top 5, except we're going to remove that part. We're
Right.
just talking about some of the movies that we've seen that we like, and these ones will be included in our tops,
Sure.
but we're not going to quantify it.
Yeah.
So we also threw it out on Facebook, kind of a throwback to the Preedback kind of a situation. And some of our friends, they like some of the Tom Hanks movies.
Yeah, so that's a good place to start our discussion.
Yeah. So, again, friend of the show, Laura, jumped in. She said Sleepless in Seattle and its sequel, You've Got Mail.
I don't think it's a sequel.
Well, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan is in both of them.
True.
I think he moved. One was in Seattle, one was probably in Boston.
Where the mail is.
Where the mail is. That's where a lot of that mail goes. Anyway, but those are great.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
that's
course.
kind of your classic Tom Hanks,
Yep.
that 90s, those romance. Let me tell you exactly when those came out, Amber. Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. What was the other one called?
You've Got Mail.
1998. So interestingly, 5 years later.
apart. Huh.
Yeah.
I always think of them as about the same.
Yeah. So I think of them as the same movie. Almost.
Yes.
Almost. So that's great. What else do we got?
Brian liked Forrest Gump and The Green Mile.
A lot of people did. Nancy also liked Forrest Gump.
You know, it's good. It
And-
spans a lot of history. It's just a well-told story.
Yeah.
It's a rich
Where
story.
weren't we sitting in this very room and one of our kids said they liked Forrest Gump? Or was that Savannah?
It might have been, Josh's girlfriend, Savannah.
Yeah.
I don't know that our kids have seen it. Maybe they saw it at school.
Oh, yeah. So I liked the part where he runs for a
Run,
long time.
Forrest. He does run a
Forrest.
long time. He's a
And-
ping pong champion for a while.
And he does something in
He
the
works
army.
on a shrimp boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he goes to Vietnam.
Man, it has been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yep.
He won an Oscar for that.
Yeah, it's really well done.
But not so well that you were like, I really like Tom Hanks.
No, I mean I did enjoy the movie, but I never was. You weren't attracted to him in that movie.
Right. And then you also said that Brian liked The Green Mile.
Yeah.
And now that's one of those movies that I liked, but I'm not going to watch it again.
No,
It's
no,
too
so
heavy.
intense.
It's
Yeah.
so intense. It's
It's
sad.
about death
and,
row. If anybody doesn't know.
and there's this big African American guy that's wrongfully committed
Yeah.
for, I think, raping some like a
And killing,
white
probably. Yeah,
killing
a little
some
girl.
little white girl.
Yeah.
And somebody blamed him, and it
Yeah.
wasn't him, and it was just horrible.
Yep.
And then Tom played a prison guard in
Yeah.
that, and he did it was a great movie, but
He was a fairly good prison guard. There was a bad prison guard that
yeah,
didn't do when they're electrocuting people. Ooh, it's
oh,
rough.
so
it's real
bad.
rough.
Yeah, so bad. My mom, friend of the show, Barb, said, "What's the one where he's on an island with the basketball? That's a good one."
It's weird because that's the sequel to the one where he's on the island with the volleyball. Just kidding. That's Castaway. That's his only friend, Wilson.
So here's the thing, Amber. I've never seen Castaway.
Neither have I.
But my friend Jimmy, the other day, he had a real bad toothache.
Yeah.
And he said that he woke up multiple nights in a row. He's having this really bad tooth pain.
Aw.
And he said that there is a scene in Castaway where Tom Hanks is on the island and he's having very bad tooth pain.
Oh, how terrible. There's nothing you can do.
Well, what he does is he takes some sort of a sharp rock and he bangs the tooth out of his mouth.
Oh, my gosh.
And that made
does
me
not
go,
make me
I
wanna
could
see it.
never watch that movie.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine?
No.
Like, hopefully they don't show it or
I
something.
think they must.
But it's like, I could not handle that. Like,
no, that sounds terrible.
it's like, it reminds me like 128 hours when that
Ooh,
guy's
yeah.
stuck and he's like, well, I guess I just got to cut my leg off to get out of
I
here.
mean, you just can't. Oh,
How do
my
you?
Word.
I mean, I always carry a small pocket knife with me now, just
Yeah,
in case.
I think
So-
it was just his arm, not his leg.
Oh,
but
it was
still.
his arm. It was just. Oh, I thought it was a big deal. I guess not.
I was teasing. It's horrible. It's
Ew.
horrible.
Oh, yeah. So thanks you guys for that pre-back. But
Wait.
Amber, oh,
Wasn't there
is
still
another
one more?
I don't-
Tara likes A League of Their Own.
Of course. How could we forget? I'm so sorry, Tara.
It's so good. We already talked about that a little bit.
That
That's a
was-
fun little historical movie too. I didn't know about the lady baseball teams back during the war.
And for me, as a baseball fan, it just kind of speaks to my heart because it's America's game,
Right.
It's America's nicest man, It's kind of like my story in a lot of ways.
I mean, if you were Tom Hanks?
If I was Tom.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Madonna.
Or Madonna. Was Madonna in it?
Gina Davis? Yeah.
Gina Davis. Wasn't there a song that's something like she's got Gina Davis eyes?
Betty Davis.
Betty Davis. Okay.
Amy also said she likes Forrest Gump, the Philadelphia, and the Green Mile. So she really goes for those dramatic
Yeah,
ones.
Philadelphia is also a tough one. Saw
Yeah.
it. He did great. He's not a good guy in that.
I didn't
he
have a
was
lot
good
of
guy. He
CGI
was
back
just-
then, so he really had to lose all that weight and get all skinny and sickly.
Yeah, that was a rough one. So
Thanks for the feedback,
thank you guys so much. So Tom started his career way back, in 1977 at the Lakewood Civic Auditorium. He played Grumio in Taming of the Shrew.
So he was 21.
So he was 21. But his movie career started with He Knows You're Alone. No idea. Nobody knows what that one is. It's a slasher film, a 1980 American slasher film.
Okay.
So probably our son Josh has watched that. But then 4 years later, he comes out with Splash, Bachelor Party, and The Man with One Red Shoe.
Wow. So somebody discovered him and made big on it.
All of a sudden, they're like, "Look at this guy's
Big.
I see what you did there. His all-American face." Because whether he's not
yeah.
ruggedly handsome, right?
No.
He's not he's not George Clooney,
Right.
He's not who else is a handsome actor? He's not whoever the guy is that plays Thor,
Right. Chris
right?
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Mhm.
But he's just this he looks safe.
He does look safe.
Yes,
he does.
Mm-hmm. And so you got Splash, which is about the fish girl, 1984. Bachelor Party, we've never seen that one.
Nope.
The Man with One Red Shoe, we almost watched.
Yeah, it's an intriguing premise. I thought it was about like somebody with a mental condition.
Mm-mm.
But when I read it, it's just like a guy, for some reason, accidentally wore two different shoes when he went to the airport. And there's some kind of a CIA cover-up thing going on, and they just need to find like a patsy, or they just need to find somebody that they're pretending to follow in order to get somebody else off their back. So he catches their eye because he's wearing two different shoes, and all of a sudden he's embroiled in this whole CIA conspiracy, from what I understand.
Yeah, so maybe we'll give that a watch. So we're moving along here, Amber. The Money Pit with Shelley Long.
Oh, that's great.
Funny movie, good one. That movie I don't know. Dragnet, which we've already talked about. Then we get to Big.
Yeah.
You and I, we watched Big.
We did,
a
just
week or
in
so ago.
preparation for this.
And the movie held up.
It really did.
It came out in 1988. Our friend Tom plays the adult Josh Baskin. So the movie stars. He's this kid with this kid friend, and I think he likes a girl, right? He likes this girl, and he sees her at the fair or the carnival kind of a thing, but she's with her boyfriend, and then he's too short. That felt really sad.
Yeah, he couldn't even get on the roller coaster or whatever because he's too short.
He's too short. So he's wandering off, and he wanders out, and he finds whatever that machine
Zoltar.
is. Zoltar. And he starts messing with it, and he makes a wish.
It's like a fortune-telling
Gypsy machine thing. Fortune teller, he's got a turban on or some such thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes this wish, and
I wish I was big.
wish I was big.
And it turns on, and it churns and makes sound.
Then your
and
wish is granted. The little
gives him a
card
little
comes
card.
out.
Yep.
But here's the thing, Amber. That Zoltar machine was not plugged in.
Oh my gosh,
It
I
was
got
not
chills.
plugged in. And so he wakes up the next morning, and guess what? He is big. He's actually a very young Tom Hanks.
He's so cute.
He's so-
That's one of my favorite tropes or premises in a movie is people get big.
Big, yeah, those
You got
body
your
switching
17
kind of a-
again. You got your 13 going on 30. Yeah, when you're just not, you don't know what to do. It's just funny to see what having an adult body is like in kids' eyes.
Yeah.
He tries to put on his old kid clothes and they don't fit.
I don't bet. And so then he puts on, he just grabs some random clothes
Yeah.
really bad. He's wearing sweatpants and some dumb looking fedora, and I don't know what he's wearing, but it's just this big goof.
Yep.
And so then him and his little friend, whatever his friend's name was, who can know?
Who can know?
And he gets that apartment or that hotel
Well, his
room.
mom, he can't stay at home because his mom thinks that he's some bad guy that kidnapped her son. She's trying to beat him up and call the
That's
police
right.
and pushing him out of the house, and he's trying to explain that he is Josh, and she doesn't believe him. That was pretty sad.
Yeah,
isn't it?
and so there's that whole subplot throughout the movie where the mom is terrified that her son has been kidnapped.
He's been gone for like 6 months. That's very sad.
They
Back in the
really-
80s, that was a high paranoia too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I just assumed that somebody I knew would get kidnapped at some point. It was such a
just
sure
so
thing.
funny that was this like, and it didn't detract from the movie.
No.
Like the humor of the movie.
Yeah.
It was like, well, we kind of keep that off to its side. And there's a couple of poignant scenes where his friend or his friend is talking to Josh's mom and is like, oh, I'm sure he's fine. Or when
Yeah.
Josh calls and is like, everything's
Well, the
they're
first
treating
night
me
he's
real
got to spend
good.
in this crappy old apartment or hotel
Oh,
room
it's
in New York
terrifying.
City, and people are yelling, and there's gunshots, and he's out by himself, and he's a big man, but he's crying because he
Oh.
misses his mom and doesn't know what to do.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
he's trying to track down this old time machine. That's why he goes to New York City.
Exactly. And he ends up getting a job at the cool toy thing, and you got your classic scene with him jumping on the piano
Yep.
with that other guy, which is great. And what I thought was really interesting, and maybe my kind of takeaway from the movie, though I'm kind of skewed this way, was this idea that as he entered in the business world, as he entered adult life, it just sucked the fun of life out of him, and he moved away from childish things, and he kind of ignored his friend and ignored having fun, right? And
He's worried about deadlines and work. He
and
stops wearing funky clothes.
he's wearing his nice suit stuff, and he's lost all of the fun. His friend is upset, and it's just like, oh, isn't that what happens to all of us in
Isn't it? It's
in
a
our
cool
kind of
little
second
message.
half of life? We just kind of get all consumed with what we think is super important, and we forget about the more important things of friendship and fun and
Yeah.
spontaneity.
Yeah. So he does have a little romantic entanglement, which is a little bit awkward.
Which is a little bit weird looking back at it. Like, what? He's like 13 years old.
Yeah, she doesn't know that. She just thinks he's naively innocent.
Yep.
So
So it was a great movie. So
Yep.
he's going through. He does something called Punchline, which nobody's familiar with. And then Amber's movie, along with Turner and Hooch, he comes out with The Burbs.
people, if you have not seen The Burbs, or if you haven't seen it recently, I certainly encourage you to watch it again. It was on Netflix for a long time. Hopefully it still is. This movie is so hilarious. I don't want to build it up too much because I don't want to skew your watching, but man, it is so funny. Tom Hanks is home for the weekend somehow without his wife and kids. They go away somewhere and he stays home. I think he's having a nervous breakdown, like at work or something. So he's taking time off, and the wife and kids are going to leave him. He's just supposed to relax. Well, he can't relax. He doesn't know how to relax, and he starts spying on his new neighbors, and there's something real fishy about his new neighbors, and he's convinced that they are probably serial killers or mass murderers, and he's got his best friend, John Candy, that's more than happy to help him investigate, and he's got his crazy teenage neighbor, Corey Feldman, who enjoys watching him, watch the neighbors, and there's just a whole, I think it's like a cul-de-sac, so it's a whole host of weird neighbors, and man, they just get into all sorts of crazy hijinks. They're sneaking around at night, they're getting caught. Oh man, it holds up.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny.
And Princess Leia's in it.
Yeah, she's his wife.
Oh, she plays his wife.
But she's around a little bit.
Oh man,
In and out.
That's great. So yeah, I've watched that a number of times
Yeah.
throughout my marriage and previous to my marriage with Amber. It's a great movie.
It really is. So if you haven't seen it and you give it a try, let me know what you think.
So then Amber, Turner, and Hooch comes out, as I said, and
It's
then
too drooly.
the next movie we watched recently, Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah, so that's right in his heyday of amazing comedies, love stories, rom-coms. You just kind of think you know what Tom Hanks is all about. And then this hits.
And then Joe versus the Volcano in 1990 with Meg Ryan. And I don't know where this falls in Meg Ryan's catalog.
I think it's either just before or just after When Harry Met Sally. This is after You've Got Mail.
Meg Ryan was in When Harry Met Sally?
Yeah, she is Sally.
Oh.
This is before You've Got Mail and stuff, right?
Yes.
So Joe versus the Volcano is also right before When Harry Met Sally. But I think she was filming that probably at the same time because she looks exactly the same.
Amber, why don't you talk a little bit about this movie? I'm going to do a little bit of Google work here, and I'll find out about Meg Ryan.
So my memory of Joe versus the Volcano is that it was just disappointing and boring, and it wasn't what I thought it was, and I just kind of wrote it off. I do think I saw it when it came out because Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, you got to see what this couple's all about. But I saw somebody. It was Mark Duplass was talking about it on Instagram like a year ago, and he was just going on and on about what an amazing movie it is and how much he loved it. And I thought he's got to be joking. Joe versus the Volcano was like a huge flop, right? He can't be talking about that. But Mark Duplass is an actor and a director, and I really like what he does. And so I thought, well, I think there's something to it. He seems really genuine. And then I heard somebody else, and I can't remember who it was. I want to say like Rainn Wilson or somebody else that's sort of an interesting actor was also talking about it just within a few weeks after that. And I thought, this movie's so old and these people are still talking about it, and it makes it seem like there's something special there that I missed. So when we decided to do the Tom Hanks podcast, I thought this is one that we've really got to revisit. I did not remember a single thing about it except maybe the actual volcano, which is maybe 5% of the movie.
Yeah, and so it begins with this brilliant, though odd opening, and it's very dark and kind of heavy, and it's just this song kind of sounded like this, like kind of like, it's not I'm working on a chain gang, but kind
like
of this
that,
kind of like, I'm just working hard and life is kind of rough, and he's driving to work, and he works at this big manufacturing facility, and it's gloomy and gray.
Yeah,
and
everything's
mud
very gray.
puddles, and it's just horrible.
Everybody's downcast. Nobody's talking to each other. Tons and tons of people just pouring into this office building or factory or warehouse.
And he goes down into the basement where he works, and he's walking in. You can tell he's kind of disoriented, like unhappy to be there. And his boss is just saying that. I can't remember what he was saying, but he was just saying the same thing over and over again on the phone.
I'm not going to argue with you about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you about this. Something like that. But just yelling over and over again.
And
yeah.
And then he goes into his little crappy office with no windows and
flickering fluorescent light.
Oh, and his boss comes in. He's like, I feel sick. Oh, you're sick. I feel sick every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he has this one lamp that's kind of colorful, and his boss makes him put it away. And ends up going to the doctor or something. I can't remember how it all worked out.
Yeah, they're saying, you got another doctor's appointment. Like, he's been to the doctor a lot for various ailments, but he really thinks something's wrong with him. He thinks that working in that place has made him sick.
Yeah.
So the doctor says, yes, actually, if you hadn't made us do all this tests, we wouldn't have found it. But you have a brain cloud.
You have a brain cloud. And so he quits work, and he's just
he tells him he's got like 6 weeks to live.
6 weeks to live,
You're going to be perfectly fine up until the end. Like, you're not going to feel anything. It's painless or whatever, and then you're going to die.
There's no symptoms.
There's nothing you can do about it. There's no way to heal it. Yeah.
And then this guy comes over. I can't remember this guy comes over and is like, hey, I've got a deal for you.
Yeah.
I need somebody to sacrifice themselves in this volcano. But if you do it, I'm going to give you as much money as you want, and you can do whatever you want for the next 5 weeks on your way there. And anyway, he dates Meg Ryan, who worked in The Crazy Office, who's somebody. And then
Meg Ryan plays like 4 different characters,
right,
3 different characters.
3 different characters.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. And the last one, right, he's like finally like, I thought I recognized you or something. And it's just a great movie. And it's also, I think, there's a hummingbird outside the studio window. And is this coming alive movie? It's, again, which is one of my favorite tropes in movies, is when people kind of put down, like, I'm not going to just get sucked into the boredom and the monotony of life, but I'm just going to embrace life. Like Yes Man, Stranger Than Fiction. Yeah. So those are kind of two of my favorite movies with that theme. He just starts going for it. He just starts living life, and he ends up on a boat with a different Meg Ryan character.
Yep. And the boat capsizes. I don't know if people want to hear spoilers, but
no spoilers
on this. It's another kind of artsy. My mom said I'm getting into these artsy movies. I mean, who knows what artsy really means, but to me, it's artsy because it's got a beautiful soundtrack and there's a lot of imagery and interesting scenes. There's a few things that happen that are just ridiculous, like fantasy things that don't feel like they fit in the rest of the story, but it kind of works. And
I thought it was great. I think if you haven't seen it, I would at least give it a watch.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised, and I just was watching it through the lens back when it came out of expecting this romantic comedy with Tom Hanks, and it wasn't, and I just didn't understand what was going on. But turns out it was actually good.
So Amber, I got a little information for you. Meg Ryan, the first movie she was in, well, not the first movie, but 1986 Top Gun.
Oh,
She's starting to make a name for herself here.
Take me to bed or lose me forever, she says to Goose.
1989, When Harry Met Sally. 1990, Joe versus the Volcano. So.
Okay. So right after When Harry Met Sally.
Right after. So she was in a lot of movies. We could do a whole podcast on Meg Ryan.
Ooh.
But let's worry about that later. Bonfire of the Vanities. Got anything?
No.
Nope. Okay, but it was a movie. Radio Flyer, A League of Their Own, 1992. We talked about that one a little bit.
Good one.
Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13. Mid 90s.
Just hit after hit after hit. Everything he was in was a hit. And I saw them all. I just wasn't excited. I don't know what. Then
That Thing You Do in 1996, which is probably if we were doing a top 5, this would be my number one Tom Hanks movie. Even though he's not like the main star, he kind of plays the guy who signs the Wonders.
Yes.
The Oneaters. And I loved that. Great soundtrack, right? And he gives the drummer the nickname Shades. He gives him some sunglasses.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
yeah.
It's just, and Liv Tyler's in that movie.
Man.
She dated, I can't remember what her character's name was, but she dated a guy named Jimmy, who was the lead singer, and he didn't care about her. He just cared about that's a great movie. If you've not seen That Thing You Do, you got to go see it. Then he made Saving Private Ryan, and You Got Mail, and the Toy Story 2 came out, and The Green Mile, and so now we start not watching his movies.
Yeah.
About the late 90s.
Okay.
Because we've got some stuff. We got The Terminal, Road to Perdition, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, apparently he's in.
Well, I have seen that, but I don't remember him.
Looks like he is the producer of that, so that doesn't count. Never mind. Yada, yada, yada. The Da Vinci Code. Now, I did watch that.
See that. He
really
was good in that. Yeah.
This is what the segment is. We're very sorry about where this segment is going. And I mean, just a ton of movies. He just keeps making hit. Captain Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
Sully. He starts doing that stuff. He's working on Toy Story 4 right now.
Anything else he's working on right now?
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. He plays, what's his name?
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Cool.
So, yeah. So anyway, just great. Just keeps making the hits. We love him. We always will love you. And you're a bad boy to me, Tom.
Aw. What else? What better praise could you give?
You're my bad boy.
Well, we really want to thank you guys for joining us for episode 41. We want to hear from you. Leave us feedback about your favorite Tom Hanks movies. Check it out, some of the ones that we recommended if you haven't seen them, and let us know what you think. You can leave us feedback on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at SegmentsCast, or you can email us, segmentscast@gmail.com. You can also find our episode page at segments.libsyn.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Amber. And so we've got big news. Our next episode is going to be really, really fun. Amber and I are very excited about it. Just today, I have finished the audiobook of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yay!
And next episode, we are going to be doing a deep dive. We're going to be exegeting this book from chapter 1 to chapter 17.
Is that it? 17 chapters?
17 chapters.
That's little. They're little at the beginning.
At the beginning, they're little. And my hope is that we continue doing this.
So we've got a little something like a Segments Book Club.
A little Segments Book Club.
So if you want to be able to really listen and participate mentally with us, you want to reread that book, watch that movie. If you've never seen the movie or never read the book and you really want to engage in the podcast, you've got a couple weeks to do that.
You've got a couple weeks to do that. So let's just say I've got a OneNote file with notes that I've taken on many of the chapters. I've got some thoughts. A lot of thoughts, especially about the Dursleys. A lot of Dursley thoughts, and I've got a hot take on Hagrid that I think I'm excited about sharing with Amber in that episode. Before we record, Amber and I we'll watch the movie as well, right?
Sure. Yes.
Oh yeah, let's watch it.
So just to give everybody a heads up, Mark has seen all the movies. Mm-hmm. He just had never read the books, which of course are much more richer storytelling.
Much more richer.
So he's working his way through those now. And I read the books a couple times, but I'm really excited. I'm reading it again. Mm-hmm. A lot is coming back to me. You forget things when it's been a while. So we're not going to do just 7 Harry Potter podcasts in a row, but we are going to mix them up with some of our other stuff.
Mix them up, but you're going to love it. It's
Even if you haven't ever listened or have never read it or watch the movies, you can still listen to us. We'll let you.
We'll let you, and it's going to be so fun. All right, so we would love it if you guys look us up and subscribe on your podcast player of choice. That increases our download numbers. It actually helps other people find out about us, and it would be great if you hear something on here that you think somebody else would like, or if you hear something that you're like, I bet nobody else would like that, still share it because somebody might.
You never know.
We've got a number of people that like this show.
Yeah.
And they think that we're funny.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the sound quality is improved. So look us up and subscribe. That would be really, really awesome.
Yes. We want to thank our daughter Emma for our logo and graphics. If you want her to draw you something, she does take commissions. You can contact her through our email, segmentscast@gmail.com.
And as always, we want to say thank you to EDM Samurai for the intro and outro music. You can find him on SoundCloud at EDM Samurai. All right.
You got your popcorn shrimp, your shrimp scampi, your tiger shrimp, your coconut shrimp.